All right, we're back down here today at one of our red butter spots. Water's up a little bit, but not much. It's kind of been washing in the same places over and over, and it's got like a layer of mud cleaned off really good all the way up through here. And those are usually times it's really good to come down here and try to look for shards of court marked pottery. But right in that same thread, there are a lot of great artifacts too, and we're just going to walk down through here and see what we can uncover. There's a lot of fire rock down through here for the next mile, and I know it's going to be pretty bare and it's going to yield some good results. So we're going to get walking, and when we find something good, we'll let you know. Okay, there's one right there, and I'm going to have to dig it out. It kind of looks like a tip. I'm not too sure. It's frozen in there solid. So we're going to give it a minute and see if we can't get it up. Alright, this is one of the first times I've seen a beaver in the daytime in here. Oh, there he goes. Alright, so I got two little pieces right here, and I had to kind of saw them out and get them where they would pop up. That sun's going to pop up in a little bit, warm everything up, and it's going to thaw out. But in the meantime, if we find anything, it might be a small struggle. Alright, this is one of those washed out spots I was looking forward to getting my eyes on. You got to be careful in the morning because right now it's still in the 20s. This water's super cold. See out there, I think there might be a piece of cord marked pottery. There's a lot of it in there. I just fished this one here out of the water with my stick. I'll try to get it dried off and throw it in my pocket. But I want to look real carefully through here because the water's been kind of staying at the same level lately. It's really washing part of the shore out. Right now it's kind of under the water, but it's been hitting this a lot and cleaning it up the last few weeks. So we'll come down through here and try to give it a good look and make sure we don't skip anything. All right, we got a little spot right in here. I don't know what I've got here. Oh, it looks like you could see it was that's the base. There had been over here where it's broke off where my thumb is, there had been another base. And it's actually a hafted point that's been turned into a scraper. That's pretty cool. I was just expecting to sit down here and look through this for cord marked pottery. There's some there. There's a piece right there. And fortunate enough to just see that right as I bent down. So we'll look around through here and pick up some of the pottery and get moved on, but we're officially on the board this morning. Alright, we picked up, we didn't have as many pieces of cord marked pottery in that spot than I thought. We did pick up two nice little piece of bust up quartz, and then you could see here they were working on this little flake and kind of utilize it as a, well, if it'll focus, there we go. We utilized it as a scraper or blade. So that's two little spots, pieces right out of the same spot. We're gonna move on. I'm gonna see if I can't find anything else, and then we'll come back and look at this on the way back down. Right, we got a tooth. Or I think that's one of them bones to a deer toe. I know there was a deer whose remains have been up here in the water for a while now. That's probably a toe bone. We're going to keep moving. We're almost to the end. We're going to turn around and walk it back too, because these mornings like this where it's washed out real good, we find a lot of stuff on the way back. Usually we kind of goose egg going up, and our luck happens when we come back and kind of see things from an adverse angle. I got something there. Nope, nothing. Alright, we're gonna get moving. Alright. Don't know what we got yet. It looks like a little bladelet. Can't tell. It's just a piece of debitage. It's got a lot of flaking to it. I don't think they were used. I don't think it's like a uniface blade or anything. It might be. It's hard to tell on that side. Almost look like a triangle in there. If you've ever watched some of our previous videos, we have one where we floated down a smaller river on some orange and black floaties, and there's one that's identical to ours. And normally I'd probably take that out of here. It's just so cold. That thing's got so much ice on it. I might come down here in a couple of days and see if it's warmed up and grab that, because I'd like to have one more. We only have two. If I could get one for each of the kids, that'd be cool to have when we go tubing up in the mountains, and maybe we could do a fun video with it. So I'll try to remember that. All right, a barge had come through and washed up the shore, and it's not much. Well, that was laying out a little piece of hafted cobble. They might have been trying to make something out of it. Just real pretty looking, but that wasn't there earlier. I'd seen where my footsteps were through there, and excuse me, but that was about half washed out when I came back up through. So that's another reason why you try to walk back up if you can, especially if there's boats coming by. If it's calm like it is today, and then the boats come through and wash up 3 or 4 feet on the shore, you'll find you something. All right, we were coming back, and that really beautiful piece of flint was just laying out. It got washed off, and you can see how it's translucent. Nothing special, just a worked off piece, but piece for the flint jar, and a really pretty piece. So we're still combing down through. We're almost done now. All right, I've got this tree that I cross under, and when I was bent down, there's some rocks right here, and that little busted tip was laying under that rock. I could just barely see the real pretty blue, gray, and white. I picked it up and noticed it was a busted one. A little bust off rock here. There's some good stuff in this spot, but it's very rarely ever washed off well enough to look. And I think that's probably the first thing I've ever found within 20-30 yards of this well, other than that side, there's a good beach back there, and it's actually where we just found a hafted scraper. But like through this way, I don't find a lot. But it stays washed out like this. It'll be good to look for the next few weeks. Alrighty. Hope you guys don't mind a little space banjo in the background. This walk we took wasn't a very long one, but we had some pretty good results. I'm glad that we're getting back down there and finding stuff again, because for a really long time through the summer, that place was getting hit hard by a lot of people, just because it's easy access and it's well known for artifacts. And it really dried up for months, where we get down there and not find much other than maybe some pottery and some flint shards. But we've been going down there a few times lately, and we've been coming out with artifacts, so that's a good thing. But got that bone. Pretty sure it's a deer toe bone. Got this big handful of flakes there. And not too much pottery. Honestly, not as much pottery as I thought. There's actually a little less. I gave a couple of my clients a piece of pottery each so they could show their families. So we actually had 2 or 3 more pieces. I think I gave out at least 2 big pieces and I think 1 small piece. And we're lucky enough to come out there today with what I think are 3 different worked pieces. I could be wrong on this one, but on that side I thought it looked like it was worked like a utilized flake. You could be the judge of that. On this one, I'm 90% sure is a busted tip. You can see where it's worked on each side like that. It's just busted off there. It would have been a wider point because it doesn't go down. It kind of slopes out more. And then I thought this was a scraper, but when I looked at it, that's just the base upside down. And it would have just been a point. Maybe come up to here. Or it looks like the base to one of those, like Baker's Creek that, well, what I think is a Baker's Creek that we find in there. Some people might think that's a fish spear point. I'm not too sure. You can't tell without the rest of the point, but you can kind of make an inference off what you have left of the base and kind of go from there. But it's all just guesswork, so we'll throw that in the tackle box of finds so far. It's growing pretty good. We're having a pretty good year so far, even with the few weeks where I goose egged for a while. It's always rough this time of year. When the leaves fall in October, it makes the hunting hard until, you know, mid to late December when they start to kind of shrivel up and wash away. So it's getting good again, and the fact that we did find a few artifacts between then and now is even better. So that means we're making progress on the year before. But that's everything we found today. Fun little walk, and appreciate everybody that came with us.